Hi guys, welcome to my channel. As you can see, this is my very first video. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So when I was about 16, me and my mom had a disagreement because of just some things that were going on in our household and me thinking I'm grown. You know, at 16 you just think you're like so grown, and you're not. You're not at all. Now that I'm 24, I realize like I was stupid. So anyways, I moved an hour and a half away to a town called Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, I'm from Tulsa, but I lived in Oklahoma City most of my life. So I moved back to Tulsa with my dad. It was going good or whatever, and me and my dad had some disagreements. So I moved out of my dad's house and moved in with two of my cousins. My other cousin was living there already, so I moved in or whatever, and I wasn't going to school at this time. I believe once I left my dad's house, I wasn't going to school because I didn't have a way. So yeah, I was not going to school. So me and my dad eventually got back cool, and I went and enrolled on an online school. And then me and one of my cousins, we went in. We had got an apartment or whatever. We started working full time. She was still going to regular school. I was going to school online. And yeah, so we thought everything was going good. And then that's when I met my now child's father. I met him back then, and we were just cool for the longest. And then we both kind of started feeling each other. We started dating. So by this time, there's a few months of us knowing each other. It was like May, which, you know, that's when school ends. And my online school told me, well, since you moved to Tulsa, you're missing one credit. So you need to go to summer school. So I was pissed because I'm like, summer school? Like, you know, school is out. They're like, we'll still let you walk, but you need to go to summer school. So I missed the summer school registration. Like, I missed the deadline because my job wouldn't let me off because I worked full time. And I'm like, at this time, I'm thinking like, I can't let money go for this. So I missed it, and they were like, okay, well, you're going to have to go to school in the fall of 2012. Back to school, and my projects wouldn't let me do it, so I didn't get to graduate, didn't get a high school diploma. Boom. At that time, I'm thinking like, oh, it ain't nothing but a piece of paper. You don't need it. So me and my child's father well, he wasn't my child's father then, but we had got serious or whatever, and by the end of that year, about like November, we had broken up, whatever. On top of us breaking up, some things happened, and me and my cousin had to move out of our apartment. So then that kind of left things in the air, like as to where I'm gonna stay. And my dad had just made up, but I was just like, I'm not gonna move back with him because he had just had another baby, and I just was like, no, I'm not gonna move back with him. So I moved in with my brother. So then December 27th, 2012, I found out I was pregnant. I was at work sick, and I was like, you know what, let me go to the hospital. And my car was like so messed up, so I like hurry up and drove my car home before like cut off because it would like run hot. My auntie took me to the hospital. I found out I'm pregnant. Y'all, I was so devastated. Like, I didn't finish high school. Me and the child's father was broken up. I didn't have a stable home. I was working at Sam's Club making like $8.40 an hour. I was just like, what the heck am I gonna do with a kid? Like, my life is like not the right life to bring a kid into at the moment. So I ended up telling him. He wasn't giving the response that I was looking for. Like, it was just not a good experience. I get it. We were both young. We were broken up or whatever. So I don't even hold grudges towards him for that. So I'm pregnant. By this time, I had moved in with my aunt. And I'm just like, my job ended up playing out on me because I was always calling in because I was so sick. So I would just lay at her house all day, not doing anything really productive because I was just so sick and dramatic for one. Trying to figure out like, what are you gonna do? Like, you finna bring a child into the world. So me and my child's father had got back on good terms or whatever. And then like one morning I woke up and I was so mad at him because the night before he didn't answer the phone, and he was supposed to come spend the night with me or whatever. Never answered the phone. So I was mad. I'm thinking like, oh, he out with some girls. Like, that's it. Like, I'm so done with him. Like, I was pissed. So I woke up. My cousins was like, Bria, wake up. Your boyfriend's on the news. So I get up and go in there and watch the news. And when I seen it, I instantly, like, tears just start falling. Like, I was in shock. I'm not really gonna speak on the details of it. And yeah, so I'm thinking like, dang, I'm 19, I'm pregnant, I'm homeless, I don't have a job at this point, and like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm thinking like he's gonna be in jail for the rest of his life. We had made up whatever, so I would go to all his court dates. I would like be the first one at that dang jail visiting him, and like I would say like 4 months or maybe like 2 or 3 months into it, I was just like, this is too much. Like, we don't know if you getting out. I'm pregnant. Like, you know, I was staying with my aunt, but she had 4 kids of herself, and I wasn't working, so you know, I couldn't really expect her to take care of me. Like, and I was just like, you know, I gotta find somewhere else to go. I had already lived with my brother. Now I was living with her. I'm like, now I gotta find somewhere else to go. It was just like not a good situation. So my mom, she's telling me like, you know, just come back home. Let me take care of you. Let me help you. I told him like, hey, I'm about to go home. Like, I don't have any other options. Like, I need help. I had ended up, maybe when I was probably about 4 months, I had ended up moving back home with my mom, and she basically was just there for me, supportive, you know, with him being in jail and me being pregnant, not really having anything. Just a little piece of car and clothes is really all I had. And yeah, and then I would say maybe like a month later, he ended up getting out. He ended up coming to Oklahoma City with me and getting a job, and we stayed with my mom. And I didn't work none of my pregnancies, so I went through my whole pregnancy, and I was excited. Like, I eventually got excited for my baby, but it was still like, dang, like, I don't work, I can't even buy anything for her. So I do remember like being kind of depressed during my pregnancy, because it was like, dang, like, I don't even work, like, I gotta wait on him to, you know, get paid, or for him to say, come on, let's go shopping for the baby, or for my mom, because she bought a lot of stuff. And then shout out to my best friend. But yeah, so shout out to them, because my best friend, she came through. So yeah, I just remember being really depressed. So September 4th of 2013, we had our baby girl, Kimberly, 8 pounds 7 ounces, a big old thing. And yeah, I mean, it was a happy moment. I had everybody closest to me there. I just remember being like really depressed, because at this point I'm still not working, I still don't have my own money, and now I got this little precious baby girl. So yeah, I just felt bad. Like, I wasn't working, 19, no diploma, you know, just a little piece of car, no job or whatever. And I felt like I need to provide. Like, that's just how I was raised. I was raised by a single mom, and my mom always made a way for us. And my mom went through a lot raising me and my brother, and I was just always raised to be independent. So that really was something that just stuck with me. That was just a hard point in my life. And I just remember like crying to my kid's father, like, here I am, like, I can't even go buy my baby a binky if I wanted to or whatever. And he would just be like, you know, like, that's what I'm here for. Like, why are you so, why, you know, like, why does this bother you? My mom would just be like, you know, she went through it. She had hard times, and she was just like, you'll get through it. Like, things will look up. And I want to say I had postpartum depression. I wasn't like, didn't go to the doctor and get diagnosed with it, but I mean, it was like right after the baby. Like, I just remember always being sad and crying. And then I gained like 70 pounds, so I was like so insecure. Like, I was so big, so insecure, the biggest that I've ever been in my life. And I just remember crying like, I'm fat, I'm this and I'm that. And thankfully, like, I was with somebody that made me feel beautiful no matter what. Like, he would always be like, you know, you still beautiful, like, you still look like yourself, like, you know, the way to drop off, just give it time. Well, I just remember being so depressed after my baby. And finally, when she was about 4 months, I got a job, and I saved up, and I put down on me a car. I got me a Honda. Y'all know I love my Honda. I still have that Honda to this day. It's been through wrecks. It's been through the storm. It was not a new Honda, but hey, that was my baby. That car got me from cross state lines. Like, I did so much in that car. I love my Honda. But anyway, so I got a job, got me a car, ended up getting me a place. Well, we got a place like a little after our daughter turned a year. So I'm working, but I still like, felt incomplete. Still didn't have no purpose. Like, I still remember like feeling like, you know, what do I want to do? Like, all my high school friends were off at college. You know, they didn't have kids. They're living their life. And I just remember still feeling like a void inside of me. Like, what do I want to do? And I had started like doing my makeup and stuff, but I never took it serious. It was just something like, I'm just like a person that likes to look good. So it was still just something like, you know, like, I don't know, like, it was just fun at the time. And then like I met this girl named Brianna. And Brianna was like, she was different from most females. Like, she would always be talking about goals and what do you want to do. And she was like really into like being healthy, working out. And I don't know, she just had like a totally different mindset. Somebody like a positive soul, like somebody that everybody need them a Brianna in their life. Shout out to you, girl. But yeah, so I would say like she was one of the people in my life that really got me focused. Like, okay, Ambria, what is it that you want to do? And she did makeup and she was up and coming. So she would like do looks on me and like take pictures with her camera or whatever. And we would like work out together. And I was still just trying to find my thing. And then like I kind of start getting into makeup or whatever. So she would like give me tips and tricks and, you know, send me videos of what I should do, send me pins on Pinterest of different looks. And then and yeah, but I still like was not, makeup was just not it for me yet. So then I ended up getting fired from my job that I had been there for almost 2 years, and I got fired. And then it was like, damn, I'm back to square one, because all that money I had or was making, I was not saving most of it. Like, I had a little bit of savings, but I was not saving like I should. Like, I was shopping. My little girl had all the clothes, shoes, toys. We went everywhere. Like, I just was not saving. So I ended up working, after that I ended up working at Sprint, quit after a few months. Then I was working at H&M, and then November of 2015, I found out I was pregnant again. I'm like, what the heck? Like, it seemed like when I'm doing bad, I always end up pregnant. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I know what I was doing, but you know, it's just like, dang, pregnant again. So I'm pregnant and I'm working at H&M. I'm only making like $10 an hour, and I'm just like, you know, what the heck am I gonna do? And I was only working like 20 hours a week. So found out I'm pregnant again. So we like, okay, what are we gonna do? So we had already talked about, we wanted to move and do a fresh start and have a fresh start and like try something different. So we have been coming to Houston because I have family on my dad's side here. So we have fell in love with Houston, and we're gonna move to Houston. Well, that's when I had found out I was pregnant. So I'm like, well, I want to have my baby in Oklahoma. So we had, at this time, we had decided like our lease is up in September. We out, like, we gone. So I had my son in July of 2016. We was gone in September, and we moved to Houston. And at this time, I still hadn't got my high school diploma. Like, still had not got my high school diploma. So I moved here, and some things happened, and I didn't have childcare or whatever, or I thought I had childcare, but some things happened and I didn't have anyone to watch my kids. So then I moved to another state that's way higher, and now I can't even work. So I had like got so many jobs that I had to turn down. So 2017 rolls around, and by this time I'm like really getting into makeup, posting looks online. People was giving me feedback, so I'm like, why don't I was looking like, what can I go to school for makeup, like that involved makeup. So I ended up finding a school named Ogle. So I looked it up, I went up there, talked to them, and I went and enrolled in the esthetician program. So I started school, and I was still struggling, working jobs here and there, part-time, not really just having enough. And coming somewhere from like Oklahoma City to Houston, the cost of living is way different. It's higher here. And I'm just like, you know, got my kids, so I'm back in that like depression. But to other people, they thought like, oh, she moved to Houston, like she doing good, because you know, of course, I would always post pictures of me and my kids, and I never like fronted like we had a certain or was living a certain lifestyle. But I don't post my business online, so everybody will always be like, oh my gosh, you doing so good, you live in Houston. And really, I was like struggling, like I was just like, dang, like I'm struggling bad if y'all only knew. So I'm in school or whatever, and I'm just struggling, and it's just a whole disaster, y'all. And that's when I started, me and my cousin, we were talking like, you know, we don't want to work for nobody, like let's start our own business, like why not? So we like on Google, like looking at how to start your own business, what do you all need to do? So we had to start it like, we're gonna sell eyelashes and like mink eyelashes and like accessories. Meanwhile, I'm struggling, like I don't have no money to start this business. Like I'm barely working, barely getting by. Like the money I do get, I have to spend it on my kids and just other little bills that I had. Like I'm just like, I can't start no business. February of 2017, I filed for my taxes, and I was like, I can use my taxes to help fund this business. So literally from February to June, me and my cousin, we like pieced together money and just got stuff a little at a time. So we launched in June, and that was like one of the happiest times of my life. Like I felt like, dang, like, you know, I did something worth, you know, worth being happy for after all I've been through or whatever. But I don't know, like I still just felt like, dang, like I feel like people didn't support me, like my family and some of my friends, and I don't know, I was just still in a bad space. And finally, I just stopped caring what people thought, and I feel like I took a hold of my life. So I continued going to school, continue running the business, and just continue doing me. I got more serious into makeup. At school, I learned how to do eyelash extensions, so I started doing that as a side hustle. I would travel back home, which I still do that. I travel back home to do eyelash extensions, and I started reading a lot, and I just started really getting in tune with myself. And I finally got that mindset that like anything you going through, like you can change it, and it don't last forever. Like it only lasts forever if you let it last forever. Like you can, any situation that you end up in or that you get yourself in, like it can be changed. You just have to have a mindset to change. Things kind of turned out to be pretty good for me. I mean, I'm still, like I'm at that point now. I just finished school in January. I graduate next month. Even though I finished in January, my graduation is next month. And now I have my business, and I do eyelash extensions on the side. And I also work part-time for this marketing company. So I'm just at a better space in life. But I basically made this video to tell just a glimpse of some of the things I've been, to let you know that nothing is temporary. Everything can be changed, but it's really all in how you look at life and your mindset, and how hard are you gonna push yourself. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I finally got my GED in 2017. So that was a real accomplishment for me, because I didn't get to walk across the stage, and I felt like I deprived myself and my parents of that experience. So that's one reason why next month I'm going to my graduation from esthetician school, because I didn't get to walk across the stage. So I'm like, I gotta do it now, and I want my kids to see like, hey, mommy, you know, mommy did it, because I want to be, of course, a good example for them, and I don't want them to go through anything that I've ever been through. Like I want them to be 100 times better than me. So I basically make this video in hopes that it'll inspire somebody, or that somebody can relate, or just to let somebody out there that's going through and know that, hey, you're not the only one. We all go through something. Even people that's rich and famous, they go through stuff. But just don't let that define you. Push through and work hard for what you want. Nothing is impossible. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. There's gonna be more content coming. So yeah, guys, see you in the next video.